was also right about that time period in the late 90s, mid to late 90s, I guess, that he, after a long law enforcement career, retiring from the Air Force after 20 years, and made a couple of unsuccessful runs for Judith Basin County Sheriff, at least one where he was officially one of two candidates. And so I remember him, going out all over campaigning and everything like that. But ultimately, he wasn't elected. But he worked real closely with the sheriff's office and all that. But then he got into bloodhound handling and training, and that became his total passion. His bloodhound search and rescue, and also, bloodhound finding lost people, from adults to children, and he was really, really good at it. He became known as quite the national expert. He worked with the FBI on some really high-profile cases, like the search for Eric Rudolph in the mountains of North Carolina. Eric Rudolph was the Atlanta Olympic Park bomber, and Drew Sojourn, who was a college student in North Dakota that was kidnapped and murdered and stuff. And so my dad and his dog Calamity Jane ended up being the ones to find her body. And then a couple of other high-profile cases in the news where my dad and his dogs were prominently a part of them, part of the cases and stuff. He was always proud that they did a write-up about him in the Wall Street Journal. He ended up, when he was working with the FBI on some cases, he ended up going over to Kenya and was working over in Kenya. I don't know exactly what the scope of the work is, but I think it had something to do with him training handlers and dog handlers and stuff over there in Kenya. So it became quite a passion for him, and very, very successful. And so, but during that time, again, this is the late 90s, when I was over there, he would have me help with the training, but the way that he would have me help is, I was a runner, and so he would have me, like take off my shirt and drop it someplace, and then go run a few miles, and then see if the dogs can find me. And they always did. He told me to try to not be found, to try to go under or over obstacles, backtrack, cross a creek, whatever I would do if I didn't want to be found. And he always found me with his bloodhound, just from me dropping my shirt and the dogs picking up my scent. It was amazing. I heard of bloodhounds before, but that was my first real introduction to how incredible they are with finding people. So anyway, another good memory from that time period.